Welcome everyone to a new gameplay series on Silent Hunter 3 using the Grey Wolves expansion Mega Mod. I'm coming in before the series starts with this quick introduction. Just letting you know that the votes were in, we had a vote, and the people have decided that there is no reason to delay the series until my pausing software cooperates with the game. So if you prefer a more action-oriented or fast-paced style of play, I'll try to include notes throughout the series if there's a longer period of downtime, but with an emphasis on not giving any spoilers. And I've already done the first 3 episodes, and I can say that there's plenty of filler talk, so even when we're traveling, I don't think there's a point in time when the videos become boring. I can tell you straight off though that episode number 2 does have a lot of downtime. It's about 45 minutes long, and there are several funny events, some role-playing dialogue or monologue, but there's very little action in that one. So if you are in the middle of watching episode 2 later and you're like, this is boring, well, just know that things do heat up a lot after that. It's mainly because we're en route to our patrol grid, and there's just a lot of travel time. So if in the end you still find that the pace of this patrol is too slow, even after things heat up, I welcome you to check out the next upcoming patrol after this one, assuming that there's enough interest. When we're back in port, I'll be adding some more mods, like one of the better damage effects mods and longer view distance. And at that point, I'll also make sure that my pause recording software is playing nice with the game. So, anyways, sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy. Welcome everyone to a new gameplay series on Silent Hunter 3. Silent Hunter 3 is a submarine simulator from World War II. We'll be taking charge of a German U-boat and sinking a lot of hopefully no German, but hopefully a lot of British convoys, and maybe, if we're lucky, some British warships too. If you've seen my teaser trailer, you know that we're actually jumping into the middle of an existing career. I've done 2 patrols already, and what we can see is I've got 2 medals so far, the U-boat clasp and the U-boat war badge. Among the U-boat aces, I'm second at about 40,000 tons. First is Herbert Schultz with 52,000. So actually this number is lower than it should be, because if you remember from the teaser trailer video, there was 2 auxiliary cruisers, and I actually ended up sinking them both, but the second one I only hit with 1 torpedo. It limped about 10 kilometers north before it went down, which I only was able to verify with external camera. So my crew themselves didn't know about it, so we never, even though it came up as a sunk ship icon on the map, unless you observe it, your crew doesn't report it as a confirmed kill for you. So we can see that, I think that's personnel files. I want to go to reports. Here. We can see that from my previous patrol, is this going to be the one I want? I want to go to the list of them. Where is the list? Here. Patrol history. So we can see in Patrol 3 it says I only sank 1 warship. And also I sank more merchant ships than it lists here for me too. But again, I didn't witness some of them sinking. So that being said, I want to just briefly give a tour of my boat. I am going to be using, okay, it keeps deselecting, but let's just go down. Okay, why is it doing this? I guess I have to have my mouse cursor in the area for it to keep taking priority. We're going to be using a side emblem, which is the closest thing I found to a turtle. And also, it's kind of a funny side emblem anyway. It's a turtle wearing a suit, is what I would say. So I'm going to be, obviously, Kalun Tortuga is in charge of this ship. I think it's 5, U5 something. And the namesake of the ship should be something similar to that. So we will have, I think it's one of these, coming up. There it is. So this is going to be our emblem. Let me just double click that. Yes, we're sure. Other than that, it's too early in the war really to be doing any special upgrades. We did take the upgraded hydrophones, and I'm using steam torpedoes for all of my entire outfit just because I prefer faster torpedoes over the electric ones. Also using kind of cheaty out-of-game knowledge. I'm not even sure how much this is modeled in, but the electric torpedoes were just garbage for the Germans in the very beginning of the war. Not until like 1942 or so that they did some reviews on the torpedoes. Even the steam torpedoes had depth keeping problems. They ran like 6 feet. No, yeah, I think it was like 6 feet low, or maybe it was 7 or 8 feet lower than they were projected to run. So that's not good. And a whole lot of problems with magnetic pistols not firing when they should. So we'll be sticking with steam and doing impact as much as possible. Another, the only kind of cheaty thing I've done is I have upgraded my crew, only my officers, but all my officers have all of the badges, all the medals and stuff. And I'm only doing this because it is a pain in the butt to do crew management. You know, just dragging and dropping a crew member over one at a time. It's painful. In fact, I actually want these guys to start in the electric engines because they will degrade slightly slower over there. Let's get this guy here. Good, but other than that, I've left all my other crew without any medals except for the ones I've earned myself, and I think we don't have any more to give. So my officers are good. They won't need to be replenished. They don't need to go to the quarters to heal or to recover endurance. But all my petty officers and sailors will. I just really hate the tedium of the micromanagement, but it's not so bad if you don't have to worry about the officers. What that means is essentially if I'm neglectful and I have some petty officers or some sailors who are really low on endurance and in a compartment, at least I should have an officer there to hold things down that will still add enough efficiency to the area. Let's go ahead. We're in AN13. This is right by Scapa Flow. The realism options I'm going to be using are no map contacts, no external view, no stabilized view. This is what I've been using for like years and years. I just find this is kind of the sweet spot for me. Something I enjoy doing. I've experimented like on my own time with doing no map contact updates. It makes it extremely challenging. I'm trying to get good at determining speed and distance and all these things from hydrophone detection, but it's quite difficult. It's quite difficult. So, yeah, I'd say that we're going to leave it on, and I'm going to be using that to help me with ranging for ships. That's probably the biggest cheat that I'll be doing. I won't be using the external view to gain any out of character or like information my captain wouldn't be privy to already. So we'll accept this, and we'll hit start. So basically, I just don't want to worry about the crew throwing them all around. It's a real pain. So my officers will be really good, and if my crew members slack off, at least the efficiency of that room is not going to drop too much because I should have an officer to hold it down. Specifically, I'm thinking of like the watch. The watchman position is one of the most important, and we do have a lazy watch officer problem where every time we dive, when you resurface, the watch officer won't return to the bridge, but that's just a minor problem. The bigger concern is dragging and dropping all those individual sailors all around the boat. So here we go. We're leaving from Wilhelmshaven, and I guess our patrol route should take us out to the east coast of England, just north of Dover. We're not going to enter the channel, but we're going to head that direction, and then we're going to comb up the eastern side of England, just trying to see if there's any merchant ships that are easy to sink there. All right, let's proceed. Can I do this? Whoops, nope. There we go. To the bridge. I guess we're leaving at night, 5 o'clock in the morning, and we still have... Well, we have quite a number of onlookers for 5 o'clock in the morning. Bunch of nurses. These nurses do throw their flowers at us and the water. Thank you. Thank you, lady. Fräulein. Alright, so I do enjoy playing in a kind of first person, give the orders from here. I had 1/3. Here's our escort. We'll go ahead and go to external camera for that one as well. We do have an escort out of the harbor, which I've avoided running into, but only just narrowly every time so far. Hopefully things are no different this time. I prefer not to wreck my ship before we even leave home friendly harbor. And there's our lovely Type 7. My favorite views of the ship are when it's submerged, but it's not the appropriate time to submerge, leaving the harbor. So I hope that the ship calling out the crew is not too loud or annoying, but anyway, I really enjoy personally spending a lot of time in first person, being very immersive, but I'm not going to force that upon you guys, so we'll go ahead and do some time compression and slowly move out of the harbor and get ourselves, let's use the advanced tool options, which look a lot better. So we'll head this way, and then hopefully without running into our escort out, we'll turn this way. Now technically there are mines in Wilhelmshaven, in the entrance to the port here in Wilhelmshaven, but I don't think they're actually modeled in. You can know that because if we shift these over a little bit, okay, a little bit more. This one right here is a map of the ports. It includes the French ports, which we don't currently own, so we don't actually know what Brest looks like, what Lorient looks like. I guess we might have information about La Spezia, but it's not a friendly port to us yet. However, Wilhelmshaven, where are you? There you are. We can see here that the dotted lines are the mines, and the black is the submarine nets. So you can see that we shouldn't be able to move over here or over here, but I think that those mines are not actually modeled into the game. So, because I have actually gone over that direction without any catastrophic results. Yeah, we're very close to hitting our escort. I'm going to go ahead and give the order to go ahead standard.
Ahead standard.
Thank you. We're going to blow by this guy, and we'll probably increase time compression very shortly. Now, unfortunately, I've had a lot of crashing of the game. Ooh, we should also take a look at the turrets while we're here. Hello, Mr. Turpitz. Without turrets. I don't know why the Turpitz is without turrets. Doesn't seem like a very effective way to fight. But she is. It's just how she currently exists in a state of lack of turrets. Maybe that's realistic. Maybe she really did have her turrets taken off for some reason, but I don't know anything about that, so I won't comment further. What do we have here? A trawler. Oh, military armed trawler. And a destroyer. A really small one. I don't recognize this ship. It's not the standard German battleship I'm used to, at least. There we are. We're peeling off from our escort. I just love playing around with this game, and just it's very immersive when you let it be.
Ship spotted. Bearing.
So now we're gonna have the hard time of getting out of the harbor because there's gonna be a lot of ships we keep spotting. So I'm gonna keep hitting a lot of pluses on the time compression, but it's gonna keep dropping us down every time we spot a ship. Okay, let's avoid a collision as well. We actually got to 512, which is too much. The most time compression I ever do is 256, because that's the kind of the sweet spot where, oh, very cool, we're able to detect a submarine here. In fact, we're going to pass right next to each other. It's Thompson! Thompson! And that's the first thing I should mention. If you guys want to be immersed into this, you can kind of think of yourself as the war correspondent in Das Boot. If you don't know what I'm talking about, and you haven't seen Das Boot, you should immediately pause this video, go to Amazon, buy the video, I don't know, go wherever you can get it, Netflix, wherever it's available, and watch Das Boot. It's a fantastic video, or movie, not video. It's a fantastic movie about German U-boats in World War II. So there's a war correspondent which goes on. I don't remember what ship it was. Anyways, so there's a war correspondent that tags along with a patrol for a German U-boat. This is a Type 2, obviously, passing to our starboard. Very cool that this is something the Grey Wolves expansion, which I'm using, GWX, adds in to the game. Friendly submarines, although I don't know if they actually engage in Wolfpack type activities. That's not something which the Germans used as a strategy until at least I think 1941 was the earliest they used it. So we have quite a while before that is something we need to worry about. But Thompson! S. Thompson! Anyway, Thompson was the name of the captain in U-Boots and Das Boots. I guess the closest thing to a friend captain he had was Thompson. Thompson was much more successful in the movie than the captain we watched. I can't remember his name. It was like Prokok or something. Doesn't matter. Anyways, Das Boot, that's my mandatory acknowledgement of the great movie. And, of course, the pitch for anybody who hasn't seen it that they should go watch it. Very good. So we'll go ahead and increase time compression, get ourselves out of the harbor, and while we're waiting for that to happen, while we're avoiding traffic, let's go up here. Let's start mapping out our patrol route. First thing I need to mention is there is a slight change, a slight gradient of colors. This is lighter blue and this is darker blue. Those are supposed to be modeling in the depth of the water. So in general, we're going to want to stick with the darker water, just because it's deeper, which is better for us. So I'm going to move over like this. Over here, it doesn't really matter because this is friendly water, and we don't need to worry about diving. We probably can stay on the surface, no problem. Actually, I want to go ahead slow, ahead 1/3, because that's the fuel most efficient for us. I can probably just show that. There's a little patch of shallower or deeper water here. I'm going to try to hit that. And then over here, now we're finally at the tunnel. So we're just going to put ourselves off the east of Hull, and move up all the way to the tip of Scapa Flow from there. But we'll do it in a manner which kind of moves along the deeper water, because we want to be a smart U-boat captain. We have a lot of realism options available, turned on. GWX makes the game a little bit more difficult already itself, so we got to be smart about things. And giving yourself room to dive is very important, especially off the east coast of England, where the water is extremely shallow in general. So we'll kind of move like this. We'll go up and hit this patch and this patch, head north, and then we'll probably just from there cross south of the Shetland Islands and Scapa Flow. And our grid is here, AN13. I don't think this is actually going to be what we exactly end up doing, because if we encounter a ship, then we're going to stop and try to sink it. But at least for now, that gives us a good idea of what we're going to do. Now, I wasn't able to get my recording software to work correctly with the pause function, so you're going to have to stay along with me for the ride. Maybe around here in 12 hours or so, I like to, it's completely unnecessary for the game, but I like to, just as a U-boat captain, for realism purposes, I like to give us a test dive here, just to make sure everyone, you can think of this as the test alarm from Das Boot. That would just give ourselves an opportunity to practice diving, test out the submarine, make sure that there's no problems when we dive underwater, make sure that she's really seaworthy. I'm sure the game, of course, makes it so the inspections are 100% perfect. There's probably a mod which adds in a possibility that your ship has some minor problem, but let's see. Okay, we have some... Oh, this is very interesting. Craig's Marine Surface Units operating in the North Sea off of the Thames River. Well, that is very interesting. So, I guess maybe somewhere over here we have some friendly German naval units. They set off the Thames, and this is the Thames here, so I'm not sure. They certainly don't mean up here if they said near the Thames. But that's fine. We're so far away from that, especially because if we want to get there, we want our range to be around 20,000, I think it'll be. Yeah, 21,000. That's much further than we're going to need to go. However, we're not always going to be going ahead slow. Most of the time we're going to be going, ahead 1/3. Most of the time we're going to be going ahead standard or full or flank. These are the ones that we're going to need to take advantage of, the faster speed ones, when we're in a combat situation. So when you see 21,000, don't be deceived into thinking that we're actually going to go to New York and back, which we could if we decide to maintain this speed. But running underwater drains the battery, and you need to use your diesel engine to recharge the battery. So anytime you're underwater, you're burning extra fuel, and anytime you're not going ahead slow. So let's just give a quick example. Let me go to head full. Screwing up the speed a little bit so we get up to 15. And now if I was to take another range at current speed, you can see we can only go 8,000 at this. So the difference is pretty substantial. And I found that the optimum is a head slow. Sorry, I had 1/3. Keep saying the wrong one. So, and after this, we'll go ahead and speed up the time compression. I'm not going to go past 256. Oh, ship spotted already. No, this is not one that matters. I hope to God this is not one that matters. It's closing damn fast, though. And I don't see it. 151. Should be just off of our tail. You guys have really good eyes. Let's take the Uzo and just go to 151 directly. I'm sorry, that was off my... I was looking off the starboard and it's off our port. Or the other way around. Oh my gosh! Awesome! It's a convoy. Sorry, not a convoy. It's a task force, it looks like. That's so cool. Since they're German, I'm going to go ahead and scout it out. Very cool. And these are the destroyers I'm used to. This is the Type 34, I think. I hope I didn't get that wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the Type 34. Very cool. 3 German destroyers moving their way. It's like we have an escort. I mean, I didn't plan this, but that is awesome. I've never had that happen right as I left port before. That is really cool. In fact, we might as well shadow them for a little bit, just for fun. We'll bring our speed up to standard, and let's see if I can get. It's for some reason not showing me the other ones. Oh, now it's spotting them. Okay, come on, guys. I can see them here very easily. Okay, let's get that guy. Just lock onto him so that we know we see him. Okay, so let's go. Let's putz around with these guys for a little bit. Now, I don't think we're going to get very far in this episode, by the way. We probably won't even end up seeing an enemy ship in this episode, but I'm going to take things pretty slow. So I'm going to call this episode to a close pretty quickly just because I'm running out of time thanks to all the crashes I've had trying to get this darn thing recorded. But in the next episode, we'll continue following these guys. We're going to hang with them for as long as possible. They're probably moving way faster than we can move. And I can't get the ranging from them, but you can see that they're, I mean, if we just zoom ahead, they're catching up with me, even though I'm going ahead standard. And I don't go much faster than ahead standard, even when I go ahead full and ahead flank. Those are probably more important if you're underwater. We can see that this will probably bring me up to 16. Yeah, so the difference here is 14 and 16. And even if I'm going ahead flank, we're not going to stay with them. Yeah. But go ahead and wave to them. That's so cool. And what a great way to start off our video. Being passed by a patrol of destroyers. Go get them, boys. I'm not actually sure what they would do. I guess they could participate in anti-merchant ship activity, but this is not the right area for it. They should be way, 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 way north. So typically the route U-boats would take out was way up here and leave. And that's why the British, knowing that, ended up leaving a picket line of aircraft carriers, at least, until the Illustrious was sunk. Was it the Illustrious or Courageous? I'm already forgetting. So they left a picket line up here. That's where their main patrols were, to try to stop the German U-boats from leaving. And also, I mean, not just the U-boats, but the German surface fleet as well. Because they knew that the Germans didn't want to engage in a pitched battle with them. So let's go up. We'll maintain flank speed for as long as possible here. But they are just blowing by us, probably going 30 knots or so. Alright, well, that was fun. So, we're out on the open waters. Very good weather. Our watch officer will probably report for us. 4 meters per second, very good, very low wind speed, so very easy to use the deck gun if we were to encounter a merchant ship worth sinking. But I'm going to call this episode to a nice early close here, and we'll pick it up in the next one. Maybe off camera what I'll do is zoom ahead a little bit. And when we get over towards the English channel, we'll pick things back up. So thanks for watching this. I know that nothing happened in this video, but nonetheless, maybe preemptively, or if you want to remember this later, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, a thumbs up for this video, just to increase its visibility on YouTube. It's obviously something for people who know my channel. I don't ask for every video, I've rarely mentioned it at all, just on these first videos to increase the likelihood it'll be appearing on search results. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you for episode 2, where I guarantee we'll spot a British ship. Thanks for watching, and take care.